Now, listen, I know my last upload on YouTube was about a year ago, okay? And a lot of y'all are probably wondering, Gunner, where the hell have you been for the past year? Well, let me tell you where I've been. I've been doing a whole lot of nothing besides playing video games. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Playing video games and just taking life easy. Now, for those of you who are interested, the reason why I stopped uploading is just because I got burnt out. I got tired of making content as much as I was, putting in so much time and all that. So I took a step back. But I'm back now, making videos again. And now I got for you guys the Red Dead Online General Player Guide, right? Now, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to be uploading very consistently, but what I will say is if you guys want more consistent content from me, you can check out my live streams, which will be happening here on YouTube, obviously. And if you want to be updated on when those streams will be going on, there will be a link in the description, the pinned comments, and on screen for my Telegram channel. I prefer using Telegram just because it's more simple and it's a lot easier than Discord is, and it's just, easier for me to manage. So if you guys want to be updated, with what I'm doing, you can join the Telegram channel. And anyways, with all this out of the way, let's get this video started. Now, exploring the map is something that is incredibly underrated in the Red Dead Online community. By exploring the entire map in Red Dead Online, you can discover a lot of things, like beautiful scenery, consumable items, wildlife that you can hunt, and more. Now, keep in mind that Red Dead Online has about 5, maybe 6 states that are filled with towns, settlements, campsites, and houses, and a lot of buildings that have interiors to them as well. So that means you can go inside of there, see what's going on in the building, you can loot items, whatever you want, really. And on top of it, you can just travel around with some friends and just take a look at some of the beautiful scenery over in New Hanover, or maybe out into the mountains of Ambarino, or wherever you feel like going. The call to arms missions are best done with friends, but you can do it by yourself if you feel the need to. It's nothing too crazy. This game mode is a bit more of like an arcade style shooter, where waves of enemies will attack you and your posse or whoever you're with, and the waves will progressively get more and more difficult, and the enemies will get better weaponry as time goes on. Eventually, the enemies will get tomahawks that can one-shot you, or machetes that can one-shot you. They'll get bows, they'll get Carcano rifles, they'll even get Gatling guns towards round 7 or 8 on wagons and whatnot. And eventually, when you get to like round 20, 30, they may get like dynamite bows and whatnot. It's a pretty fun game mode, but it caps out at 4 players max. So if you're playing the game, you can only play with 3 other friends or other people. But it is still a fun game mode now. After you complete about 10 rounds of this game mode, you can make roughly $130 to $210, depending on how many kills you have and how many friends you have with you, and so on and so forth. But the Call to Arms is a very fun game mode. It makes you a good chunk of money, and it's a good way to get started on Red Dead Online if you have access to the Telegram mission. Fishing is another way to get passive XP and income in Red Dead Online, and all you need is a fishing rod and some bait, preferably worms or crickets, and that is all you need to catch some fish and make some decent money. And there are some good fishing locations in the map, but I personally prefer Cattail Pond, which is a few miles west of Valentine. There's a spot in this pond where you can catch a 3-star fish, and that 3-star fish will sell for $24. Just for one of them, $24, which ain't half bad for a fish. And while you're fishing, you're not going to get it first like I did in this video clip. It was the first fish I caught in the clip, but you will still have a decent chance of catching this fish, and after you catch it, you're most likely going to have caught other fish before you caught the big one. So what you do is after you get all your fish, you get the main one, you load it onto your horse because you can only fit one of these 3-star fish on your horse at a time. So you put the fish on your horse, you go back to Valentine, and you can sell that one fish for $24 on top of other fish that you've caught for a few dollars a piece. Now, keep in mind, you can hold a lot of the smaller fish in your satchel. Like, you're talking, you can probably hold 20 fish if you grind out long enough. And depending on how long you fish for, you can make anywhere from $75 to $130 depending on your location and how long you're fishing for. But keep in mind, you can make a lot more money than that. It just takes a lot more time. Getting a good weapon loadout is essential in Red Dead Online. The reasons for this is for getting missions done effectively and to defend yourself from other players who may try and attack you or grief you or whatever. And the main things that you will need are dual-wield weapons and a repeater, right? Those are the main things you are going to need. I personally use a double-action revolver paired with a semi-auto pistol and a Lancaster repeater. Sometimes I'll throw in my rare shotgun or a bolt-action rifle equipped with a medium scope. But, you know, that's typically my loadout, is that repeater and those 2 pistols, right? But personally, I don't recommend you get the Lancaster repeater, despite what many other people say. I personally say get the Evans repeater. It has a decent fire rate, it holds a lot of ammo, and it does a decent chunk of damage if you are using good ammunition. But there are a lot of good loadouts out there. Like, there's another loadout that I used for a bit, which was a Navy revolver with a LeMat revolver for dual-wield purposes. This is another half-decent loadout that I think a lot of you will personally like and be fond of. But don't let me tell you what your loadout should be. Have fun with it, but remember to try and have fun with it, be effective, and make sure it's something that's actually practical and makes sense. Hunting is another good way to earn money in Red Dead Online. All you will need for effective hunting is a bolt-action rifle and a varmint rifle. The bolt-action rifle is going to be for your medium and large games such as deer, wolves, coyotes, alligators, and whatnot, while your varmint rifle is used for smaller games such as rabbits, birds, squirrels, chicken, and snakes, and whatnot. I also recommend cooking the meat you get from hunting and selling the rest of the animal to make money. So sell the items that you get from the animals, like the pelts, the animal fat, the hearts, feathers, antlers, horns, and whatever other items you get, but save the meat. And I recommend cooking it, like the meat that you get, like if you have, let's say, big bird meat or game meat or prime beef or pork tenderloin meat or whatever, just any sort of meat product. I recommend you save that, cook as much of it as you can, as much of that as possible, and then selling the amount that you can't cook, because you can carry more than what you can actually carry in your inventory to eat. So you can sell the scrap meat that you can't cook or use, or you could just hold on to it for later and cook it whenever you start running low on food again. And what this will do is you will sell the stuff from the animals that you kill, and you will also have food, and you won't be spending money at the general store on a can of, corned beef or, whatever. And this will get you a lot more XP, it will help increase your Deadeye strength, it will help increase your health, and it will get you better experience with, just how to play the game and survive and all that, without it being entirely, like, pay to win or too grindy.